Cheers. It's Monday afternoon. It's been snowing outside. The UK's ground to a halt in a blind panic. My office looks like a bomb has hit it. I've got quite a bit of work I need to do. So yes, it's time for another FlossTube. Welcome back, everybody. It's your man, Mr. X-Stitch here, your world's favourite Kingpin of Contemporary Embroidery and all-round good guy. How have you been? It's been a funny week. Has it been a week? Yeah, it snowed yesterday. It was good. Woke up yesterday morning. It was snowing. It was lovely around here because I live about an hour north of London, and normally you don't get that much snow around here. So it was pretty nice that it had done because I'm in the countryside. Took Flora out in the snow. At 8 months old, it was her first ever snow, but she failed to understand the significance of that, and so was generally a bit unimpressed. I feel like it'll be the same with her in Christmas, to be honest. I know a lot of my friends are kind of doing the Christmassy thing for their kids, you know, but Flora's like 8 months old, so if you want to explain Christmas, you've got to explain the story of Father Christmas, you've got to explain Christianity to some extent, you've got to explain cultural and socio-political narratives that go back millennia. I can't really be bothered. So, anyway, I managed to finish a thing. The eagle-eyed viewers among you may recall that a couple of weeks ago I mentioned I'd bought a Japanese jewellery box that I was going to upcycle for Mary as a Christmas gift. It played Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, but it was a bit battered on the outside, some of the paper had come off and stuff. So I pondered for a while and then found in my local TK Maxx, you'll call it TJ Maxx, I found this book, Stickertopia, which has got loads of pages of gardens inside it, right? Gardens. And then it's got pages of stickers. And as you can see, I've been using some of the stickers. So what I did was I took some of the garden pages and I cut them out, and I got some Mod Podge and kind of stuck them all on, and here we go. So here's the box. It's kind of Japanesey garden. I stuck this whole row of flowers all the way up here that kind of curves over onto the back. Let's have a look. Stuck on there. Stuck on a few random butterflies just to spruce things up a bit. At the front, a sort of bridge kind of cut out and stuff like that. Okay, that looks alright. Around this side, thought that was quite groovy, so just kind of cut that picture in half. Again, whacked a few butterflies on top. Covered the bottom with this nice easy garden. Oh, it goes that way. Nice easy garden there. And then on the back had a bit more space, ended up doing some random thing with red and yellow flowers that I don't really know what it means, but anyway. So yeah, so I Mod Podged it, and then if I give it a little twist, classic. I'm thinking I might put some stickers on the inside, a couple of butterflies maybe getting free, but I might just leave it as is. She's very lively, is she? So anyway, yeah, I think that's worked out pretty well, and the reason I'm showing that you now is because I'm going to wrap it up and hide it away now. I might have to give it one more cut of Mod Podge, because now that I look at it in this light, I see that it's still looking a bit higgledy-piggledy in places, but you know, it's not the most refined thing in the world. I mean, if you look around where the top is there, the paperwork's a bit ropey, but it's definitely different, and I think, you know, that's quite pleasing. I'm calling that a job well done. See, so yeah, I actually finished a thing this week, which is rare. It's not an embroidery, it's not a cross stitch, but I finished a thing. And getting this done when Mary and Flora went to sleep meant I was up until like 1:30, 2:30 in the morning watching Pretty Southern on FlossTube or listening to her and getting this done, really. But job done. Excellent. Christmas win. Congratulations, everybody. So I thought I'd have a go at that 11 semi-inappropriate facts about me thing, because I watched a couple of those and they can be quite insightful. I'm not sure that I want to give away everything. I was writing the list and I was like, what should I say that's like, you know, interesting, gives a little bit away of me, but doesn't give away anything that I come back to feel regrettable about in the future. And I realise that it's quite easy to like share a lot, and there sort of has to be a cut-off point, isn't there? Because I want to be open and honest with you guys, but I don't feel like I need to tell you everything about everything. You know, got to maintain some air of mystique with this fine figure of a man that you're looking at here. You know, you've got, can't show you the man behind the myth completely. That'd be a shame, wouldn't it? So I've got 11 semi-inappropriate facts. We'll see how we go. Most of them, I think, are just weaknesses that will probably be used to destroy me in the end. But we'll give it a go. First one then, I've kind of got tinnitus. I've kind of always had tinnitus. I don't know whether it started when I was a teenager, about 16 or 17. I went to see Anthrax and Iron Maiden at Wembley Arena, and the speakers were like 3 stories high, and it was an amazing gig, and my ears were ringing for 2 days after that. And sometimes I wonder whether they ever really stopped ringing. But those of you that watched the last video will know I had an ear infection, and I still kind of got it. It's a bit bunged up, but it just means I can really heal. I think it's my blood pressure. I think that's what you can hear when you have tinnitus, and you can just hear this sort of whistling sound. I used to think it was the background hum of the universe, and if I tuned into it, my psychic abilities would kick in, but I'm not sure now. It might just be blood. Either way, so I've got tinnitus, so I don't really like working in silence or sitting in silence particularly, because after a while I sort of notice it and it gets on my nerves. And Mary likes silence when she works, and I like music when I work, and that can always be a bit of a bone of contention. Semi-inappropriate fact number 2, I have got 5 tattoos. I've collected them over the years. I got the first one when I was 30, a variation on a Superman logo up there, that because I collect comics and because I think it's quite nice to be a sort of hero. That one based on a Kingdom Come version of Superman. Got a Reiki symbol on my arm there, more about that in a minute. I've got all my X's, all of my X's, because I'm Mr. X, loads of them, that act as a colouring in book. If you ever want to get some face paints out, you can colour my arm in, so that's quite good. I've got the word grace written on my arm, which is to remind me that sometimes in life people will piss you off, and it's better to respond with grace than without grace. And then every now and again I meet someone called Grace, and I'm like, why is your name on my arm? Which is always a good icebreaker. And then I've got this little symbol here tattooed on my arm, and I'll talk about that in a minute as well. Speaking of that, semi-inappropriate fact number 3, I'm divorced. I'm married now, again to Mary, but she's my second wife. I've been married before. I got married on the 8th of August 2008, which is what that tattoo is for. My ex-wife's got one as well. Yeah, so that was fun. My parents got divorced when I was 8, and I never thought that I'd get divorced, and I did. And then it turned out that when I got divorced, I was the same age as my dad was when he got divorced from my mum. So there. Didn't have any kids or anything. It was really amicable. My ex-wife's a good person. She's doing well. We have no problems, and you know, I hope that she thrives, really. But you know, the twisted path of life leads us this way, and our relationship came to an end, and so be it, you know. But yeah, divorce. Who would have thought? Semi-inappropriate fact number 4. I think I had something like 27 jobs in my life. Like being Mr. X-Stitch now for a living is like job number 28, I think. I've had all kinds of jobs. I've been a fishmonger, I've worked in a nightclub, I've done exam invigilation, I've had quite a few office-based jobs, all kinds of stuff. Delivery driver for an Indian restaurant. Done loads, had loads of experiences. Night shifts in a sandwich factory. It's been great. Diverse amount of time spent doing different things. Taught me a lot, not sure what, but upon reflection, when I get round to doing the memoirs, I'm sure it'll all make sense at that point. So, but yeah, 27 jobs, not bad. Semi-inappropriate fact number 5. I'm a Reiki master. That's what the the Reiki symbol tattoo is. I'm a Reiki master. My mum's a Reiki master, and she got me various Reiki attunements for birthday presents. It was easier than getting me an Amazon voucher, particularly as Amazon didn't exist at the time. I'm not really a practitioner in it, and I'm one of these people where I'm quite a spiritual person, and I love things like Conversations with God and A Course in Miracles and stuff like that, but I'm sort of like a hippie that doesn't much care for hippies. I'm not really into patchouli or tie-dye or any of those sorts of things, you know. I believe we're all made of this fundamental life source energy that you can call Reiki, you can call God, you can call it Brahma, you can call it the Tao, you can call it whatever. and you know, we're all intrinsically connected to the world and all that kind of stuff. But I don't have any crystals. I don't know, it's weird, but being a Reiki master is quite important to me, because although I don't practice it, it fundamentally underpins my view on the world and stuff like that, so it is quite important. Semi-inappropriate fact number 6. I was bullied at school. At my school, I was one of the 2 fat kids, and so I used to get bullied by the entire top deck of the bus of school. The bus used to take us in school, and it'd pick up me and my mate, and we were the last people that would pick up, and he was into heavy metal. So what would happen is we'd get on the bus and all the boys would be on the top deck of the bus, and as we walked up the stairs, he would be greeted with the word hair, because he had a lot of hair, and I would be greeted with the word tits, because I've got man boobs, because I've always had them, and that was pretty horrible. So yeah, still a bit body conscious, to be honest. Yeah, and now that I think about it, semi-inappropriate fact number 7, I've always kind of struggled with my weight. I think the heaviest when I was in my first marriage, I probably weighed nearly 20 stone. The lightest I ever did as an adult was when I'd finished uni, and I weighed about 14.5 stone. Currently I'm like 16 stone something, and I try and lose weight, but I'm a bit of a sucker for things like cake and crisps, and I'm a bit of a secret eater. I'm not very proud of that fact, but that's just the way it is for now. So I hope that in the end I can, you know, find a nice balance. But I've always been built for comfort. I've always been a big person, you know. So in a way, the man boobs have worked out quite well, because they make it look like I'm sort of like, rather than being fat around the middle. But it is what it is. Semi-inappropriate fact number... Semi-inappropriate fact number 8. I wish I could have ridden a bike no-handed. There's only a few things that I regret in life, and it was always that, like when I was a kid, I never managed to learn how to do it. There's been quite a few things that I couldn't do when I was younger that I've managed to do subsequently, but riding a bike no-handed was always one of them, and I don't know that I ever will. You know, the older you get, the more kind of risk-averse you get, so I'm not sure I'll ever actually do that, but yeah, if anybody knows how to do that, good on you. I wish I'd done the same. I used to try skateboarding. I kind of wanted to be a skateboarder, but was a bit afraid of that. I learned how to roller skate kind of briefly a few years ago, and that leads me to semi-inappropriate fact number 9, which is I've got a metal plate in my leg, because I broke my leg roller skating 2011. Torsion fracture, kind of snapped the leg. I was at a roller derby practicing, used to be involved in roller derby. That was how I met my wife, now Mary. And I broke my leg, and so I've got a metal plate and 8 pins in my leg, and that was a good bit of fun. Not. Semi-inappropriate fact number 10. I've kind of got a problem with drugs. I used to smoke a lot of weed, but I've always been more of a stoner than a drinker, so I don't really have a problem with drinking at all, but I've realised that I do have a bit of a problem with dope, and I, you know, throughout uni kind of smoked it various times since then. Can't self-regulate it. Can never be one of those people who's like, I'll just put a bit aside and then get it out once a year at a party or whatever. It just doesn't happen. If I've got it, then I have to use it, and I've realised that now, which is why I don't have it anymore. And it's a bit depressing to think that you have those kind of foibles that you can't really manage, but that just seems to be the way. So it's better for me to completely avoid it and just have a packet of crisps instead. And semi-inappropriate fact number 11, last one. When I was 40, 2 years ago, I completed the London Marathon. Yeah, kind of did one of those, not a midlife crisis, but you know when you're like, I need to prove my vitality. I need to prove that I still can do something. And as I said, I was always a fat kid, always struggled with my weight, was always too lazy, playing video games, doing whatever. Never really did exercise, never really had any exercise role models, and then decided to do the marathon. And I did it in like 5 hours and 20 minutes. Like, the biggest risk to me in the marathon was getting bored. And there's this bit in the London Marathon where it's something like mile 6 and mile 22 past one another. And like by the time I got there were hundreds of people streaming past me, and I couldn't understand how they'd managed to do it. But actually, your Kenyan people finished the marathon in like 2 hours. And by the time I got to like the other bit, mile 22, I'm like, who am I going to run past coming the other way? They'd reopened the roads by that point, and it was just traffic really. So, But I did it. I ran the marathon, completed it, got a medal. Don't know that I'll ever do it again. It took a lot. You have to do a lot of training runs, and because the marathon's in like March, April time, you have to do a lot of training runs in the dark in winter, which isn't great. But I got there, and I did it, and I never thought I would. So that's pretty impressive. So there you go. 11 semi-inappropriate facts about your man, Mr. X-Stitch, really. I hope that's been interesting. Gives you a little insight into the man behind the legend, in front of the myth, to the side of the truth about Jamie Chalmers. Yeah, you've got any questions or any thoughts or any comments, I welcome them. I'm kind of digging the YouTube community these days. It's good to have you on board. Hopefully at some point I'll get around to making another video more about embroidery and needlework, but you know, Christmas is on the horizon. We've got to go and spend time with Mary's family up in the Lake District for a few days, so there might be a big gap between the next one. I don't really know. It might be some shockingly poor videoed it on my camera phone thing. I don't know, we'll see. But at some point in the new year I'm going to get my act together and start making videos where I curate a bit of stitchy content for you. So if that's what you're interested in, let me know. If you've got any recommendations about people I should feature, let me know. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, please like the video down below. If you feel like you're interested in what I have to say, please subscribe to my channel. That'll be great. There'll be another video here for your viewing pleasure of something else that I have to say. And until next time, this is your boy, Mr. X-Stitch, signing off. Love ya. Bye.